Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm going to give you a heads up, this is going to be a short and fast one because we were just given a time crunch or...
Yes, time limit.
Time
10
limit.
minutes. We'll see. Okay.
Something very close to that. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
And I'm cpredmor on Ravelry, and I'm usually posting as Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. Yes, there's a cpredmor Instagram, but I hardly ever look at it. And before I dive heat frustration, here is what was going to be my brioche dress. And you'll be able to see why you didn't get further than a brioche top. Okay, this thing, we love the color.
And we like the brioche. The brioche
texture.
looks super cool, and it, on the diagonal looks super cool, but
we have a problem with the sleeves because they're a piece of a piece with the top. There really is very little shaping going on, and yet you need this extra, otherwise you won't have any room movement for your arms. So, yes, this was going to be a dress. It is now something to be frogged. But I am looking at other brioche patterns, and the other thing I'm going to do, because this yarn is still, this is Jill Draper, I'm going to wash it. I'm going to wash all that's left. I have a huge hole in the ball of yarn that I've got, so I'm just going to soak it, just get it really wet, and then I'm going to put it in a net bag and let it dry and bounce around props for a little bit.
okay.
And, get it less crunchy, because that's part of what I think is holding it up like
Possibly.
this. Or I may just let it dry in the shower, because we've got the shower drying rack.
Yep.
So this is going to be wet, and I'm going to pound it with my hands, I think, to let it get
And see what it does.
a little less holding up its own shape.
It's very rustic. I do love the Empire because you can also, like, it's soft, but it's still got some sheepy in it, which is kind of lovely.
But I'd like for it to drape a little instead of stand up on its own.
So it has a lot of body to it.
Yes.
So we'd like a little less body, a little bit more drape.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens when we wet it.
Okay.
Give it a baptism. So I did get this in for Quidditch.
Yep. Good.
And I got credit for it.
Oh,
and
good.
now we're going to frog it.
Well, no, you're going to wash it to see what happens, and then you're going to frog it, I thought.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be frogged. It will become something else. As I said, I've been looking at a few other patterns, and I think we may have come up with some. I'll show you.
Okay.
We're going sailing for the July 4th, and so
Yay.
tonight, tomorrow night, and back on Friday. So we've been given a very short time limit before we leave for the boat. That's why we're running so fast.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, I finished something.
Go ahead.
Where'd they go?
Uh-oh.
I threw them in here. I'm going to be real mad.
All right.
Well, here they are.
Okay.
So the ends aren't woven in.
Okay.
But ta-da!
Yay!
We have mitts for Mommy!
Mommy's thrilled. Yay! Thank you.
I will weave in
I
the
am
ends.
not going to put them on right now.
Because it's really hot in here.
Yes, it is. It's been closed up while we were gone visiting our friends in Rhode Island. And now we just opened it up, and it's still really hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
We are not going to stay in here over long, and I'm not putting those on. Yes. So, can I talk about what I just did?
Yes.
Okay, so here is my... Oh, Lord, what is this?
This is your recital.
Thank you. I was going to call it a bolero, and I knew that wasn't right. So, yes, the front is much longer than the back, but we know that there's a reason, because this is supposed to be drapey in the front, and I think it'll be fine. And yes, if you look, and you can see that I've got it all together. I've done my sleeves. There's a really long tail. I didn't have scissors with me when I was up visiting my friend, so I've got my sleeves in. And because this has been worked before, and because it's fingering, it just lays. I mean, this is like, whoa. And even though the sleeve was knit in, I think because it is a fitted sleeve, it's going to work better than what we just saw with the brioche. So what is left is a 2 to 3 inch hem in 1x1 rib. And I have it's going to be fine, because that'll keep it nice and tight and close in, and that'll be great. So I've been working on this, and I should have it done by This is Wednesday. I should have it done by next Wednesday, maybe before.
Yeah.
So those are really the only 2 things I worked on.
So
what have you been doing?
I went up to Poughkeepsie and saw my best friend from high school, and she started knitting at Vogue, or right around the time of Vogue. And actually she started knitting in November again, when we went up to Montreal, and she really wanted to learn how to knit. So she knit herself a hat, and then at Vogue, she bought some yarn from Magpie Fibers, and she wanted to make socks.
Oh dear.
So.
Has she?
She has cast on.
All right.
We cast on. We did a backwards loop because we didn't want to do anything
too
more
fancy.
Complicated, and I wanted her to be able to do it. And the backwards loop does give you a lot of stretch to it.
I'm not quite sure why, but it does.
I don't know either, but like mine's a backwards loop, and that's pretty dang huge. That's like 5 inches.
Yeah, it does.
So she picked the rye socks because we're doing a DK weight, because I told her if she wanted to make socks, I'm not teaching her how to do it on fingering weight because I'll kill myself. Suicide jokes are not funny, but I might stab someone with a needle.
That's a possibility.
You know. So I finished one sock up there that last weekend for her to have as kind of a guide and an example. And I turned the heel on the second one yesterday.
What are these socks?
The Rye socks by Tin Can Knits. They're from their Simple collection, so they're free. And I have a pair of these already, and they're pretty fantastic. I do have trouble getting them over my heel. So what I did for the first sock was right at the end of the leg, I increased 4 stitches. And now I'm doing the heel as the larger size. And then I'm just going to decrease back down to the size I had for the leg for my foot.
Brilliant.
And the first sock fit really well. So I'm excited to do it again on this sock. And now I'm on the gusset. Good. And so hopefully I'll have these done by end of the weekend. If not sooner.
So check out our Instagram since we're going sailing. There will be sailing pictures. Yes.
Yes. And since we have a 4-day weekend, this is typically when, I think it's Olivia Knits, I don't remember, does a 4-day knit-along Cal thing for a sweater. I'm not doing these sweaters she's saying, but I'm going to do my own.
In 4 days?
I'm going to try. I'm bringing my Soldotna, which I did cast on over the weekend. I have it over here because I packed a smaller bag for
sailing.
Oh, no, we're good.
I'm turning bright pink. It's so hot in here.
Yeah, I know. So I cast it on, and I got through the short row in the back, and I got through the first few rows of the color work.
Very nice.
Oh, that looks so nice on screen. So it's super soft. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to try and work on. I do have actually some yarn in here to swatch and another DK weight, or worse, that might be worsted weight, to make another pair of socks once I finish this because I need more socks.
Why not?
And then, I don't know if we have enough time, but I wanted to ask Mom.
What?
So the original plan when I was making you those mitts was to make you the scalene in coordinating / matching with this red yarn and gray yarn.
Yes.
Do you still want that? Or do you want time to think it over?
I would think pink would be better. It would go with my coat.
Okay,
what
I
do you
don't
think?
have pink, but okay.
But I love this. I love this.
I know, and it has the keyhole thing that you love. Okay, we can.
Or if we make it, I could wear it with the dress or something. You know,
it's up to you, Mom. I
it
found
would look
it
pretty with the mitts. I agree. It would be gorgeous with the mitts. It would be gorgeous.
I found it.
You know what? Let's make it in those colors. Let's do it. Let's do it.
In that, or do you want it in the babs?
I like the babs.
The babs? Okay.
I really do.
And then we have a whole 50-gram skein left over from
the mitts.
The mitts.
We're gonna have to figure this one out.
You might get shorty socks out of it.
That
too.
Sounds good. Listen. So,
yay! So now we figured that out. I now no longer have mystery yarn or mystery questions.
Project. Anything else? Because we got 30 seconds.
I mean, I brought yarn to wind up because I thought maybe we'd have time to wind yarn for more socks, but Friday or come back on Sunday. I figured I would leave my big bag of knitting stuff here.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
But yeah, so we've hit 10 minutes and we're gonna head out.
We'll see you.
Bye.